Hello and welcome everyone. In this video I'm going to give you a brief introduction about Azure IoT. So let's start with it. So in 1926, Nikola Tesla had quoted, "When wireless is perfectly applied, the whole earth will be converted into a huge brain," which in fact it is, all things being particles of a real and rhythmic whole. So that was 100 years, almost 100 years ago, and that was said by Nikola Tesla. So, Internet of Things is a vast network of devices that is connected over a network wherein every device can communicate with the cloud as well as with other devices. So, it's like if you have 5 devices or 10 devices connected with each other as well as with the cloud, and all of those devices can communicate or perform actions with each other, and then they can also communicate with the cloud. So, in a nutshell, everything is connected to one big global web. So, now what are the things in Internet of Things? The things are the devices without screens, and it is not that they specifically need to be the devices without screens. At times, they can be screens, they can be your laptop or your computer, but these are the devices that here we are talking about are the devices without the screens. For example, the light bulb, it can be a button, or it can be a door sensor, it can be an airplane, a chair, a dog collar, it can be anything. And these things can work in various environments depending upon their functionality. For example, a device is in a hot temperature, or uh, some devices are in the cold temperature, or cold environment, or a hot environment, or some of the devices are in the remote environment where human reach is not possible. So even in these environments, or even in these conditions, all of these devices are able to work perfectly, and they are able to send feedback as well as receive the command and control from the cloud. The devices have sensors attached to them through which they perform the necessary actions. These sensors, in fact, can detect humidity, light, temperature, pressure, and so on, depending upon their functionality. For example, if I have a humidity sensor, so for example, the if I have a humidity sensor attached to one of my things, say if I have a humidity sensor attached to one of my chairs, and if that chair gets wet, I will be notified over the cloud. I will receive a notification that my chair is wet. And similarly, every other sensor works, and every sensor then gives feedback based upon the data that it has received, and hence the cloud then commands it to perform the next action or control it. Here in the example of the humidity sensor where I've talked about a chair, the cloud won't give it any command. It will rather notify. So here you can see an image. There are so many things connected to the cloud and also connected with each other. There's a Bluetooth jacket, and there is a plant which controls the which has humidity sensor as well as light sensor as well as temperature sensor. There's a headphone, there's a house which can detect fire, there is a door lock, there's a drone. So these are the various things, and the fun thing about Internet of Things is that you can attach these devices to whatever thing you want. It is upon you, it is upon your creativity what you invent. So now what is the internet in Internet of Things? Every single thing that happens in the cloud is internet, and rather than happening in an actual cloud, all the processes are executed in data centers. These data centers are based on a large area where they store this information, analyze it, execute the actions and everything. And tons of data is created and exchanged every day by all of these devices. And such huge amount of data cannot be stored locally in any case, and that is why it is stored, executed and analyzed in the cloud. So from that we can understand that the internet of things is nothing but cloud. And notably, the devices that are connected with the internet, or rather with the cloud, have a two-way secure channel of communication through which they exchange the information. So every device receives some information from the cloud, and then it gives feedback to the cloud. So it is a two-way communication between them. So now, what is Azure IoT? Azure gives a platform or a number of services through which you can use IoT efficiently. First one of that is device connectivity and management. Azure gives you the services through which you can connect as many number as devices as you want, and also you can manage them. You can connect 5 devices, you can connect 10,000 millions, so many number of devices, and you can manage them at the same time. The next is data ingestion and command and control. The data which is received from the devices, which is ingested into the cloud, it is then processed, and then the command is given to those devices for what to perform next and how to control those devices. Next is stream processing and predictive analysis. For example, if one of the devices gives feedback and at the same time another device gives feedback, then the processing of those two devices is done at the same time. It's done simultaneously. It is not that one of the devices will have to wait and then that device will get that the information from that device will get performed. That's what stream processing is. And predictive analysis. From that information received from the devices, the cloud then analyzes the information and the data of what to perform. The next is workflow automation and integration. The information which is received from the devices is stored in the cloud, and then the cloud learns how to automate the devices, so it reduces the overhead that is generated when the work is done manually. So the workflow automation and integration is one of the important features of Azure IoT. The next is dashboard and visualization. Azure provides an integrated, rather interactive dashboard, so from where you can manage your devices and you can control whatever you can see. The next is Azure IoT Suite. These are nothing but pre-configured solutions. Uh, from that, you can control, you can have that remoted monitoring or predictive maintenance. Azure IoT Suite is nothing but you have these templates of pre-configured Azure IoT solutions, in which you can add your own. Of course, you need to add your own ideas and creativity, but you get this templates or the skeletons that are ready to use, basic solutions that are easy and quick to implement. These templates which you can edit later. So thank you. This was the introduction to Azure IoT.